Alright y'all, so I'm gonna try to make a video real quick because it's getting cold out and it's getting dark. So I want to show you guys some stuff to look for when purchasing a BMW, specifically my E90. If you're in the market for E90, great decision. It is a fantastic car, one of my favorite cars of all time. Ranges from 06 to 2011. In my opinion, I'm always gonna go with the LCI version. I just think the body lines are so beautiful, and the upgraded headlights, the tail lights, LCI is the way to go in my opinion. I would not go pre-LCI unless I'm getting a N54 335 that I'm just gonna go crazy on. Like, that's the only reason to do that. I'm gonna pop the hood and show you guys what to look for now. Under the hood, now I cleaned it up a little bit because I'm about to sell this puppy. So a little trick, I oil this. All this stuff is a deep black because I just rubbed some oil on a rag and you can wipe it down. But that is something to be said. If you're getting an E90, well, look, if you're getting any BMW and you see the engine bay is clean like this, be a little mindful. They're obviously cleaning it up for a reason. They don't want you to see certain things. So, first thing, look, you're gonna have leaks. There's a few main leaks I look for. Valve cover gasket, the oil filter housing gasket. You're not gonna see the oil pan, it's under the car, but if you have access to a jack, highly recommend getting under the car because that's usually leaking and you don't see that. So that's like a $1,000 to $2,000 job. It can be more depending where you're going. But I'm gonna show you the valve cover. In between here, you will get a slight view of the valve cover gasket, and you're looking to find some oil residue. You can see the oil residue down there. It's looking pretty bad, and I actually do have an oil leak on my valve cover gasket, so that's something to look out for. Always check that when looking in the engine bay. Another area is the oil filter housing gasket. These typically leak. You will know if you see some, again, oil residue. That's really all you're looking out for in a lot of these areas. It's not rocket science. If you see oil residue, it's probably got a leak. This is clean. This is good. Right here you have your power steering fluid. There's usually some residue stuff up there. It's not really that big of a deal. Now, if you see the hoses, you can see the oil residue right there. I actually do have a hose leak as well, and you can follow it down. It's hard to tell right here, but if you follow it down, you see some more residue. You have a power steering fluid leak. You want to look for coolant issues. If you see coolant splattered everywhere, chances are something broke, popped off, and you got to be very mindful of that because my experiences with the BMWs, coolant is a very prominent issue that can go out, and you do not want to be stranded on the side of the road like I have a couple times. So look for any markings of splatters around here, like if it's greenish blue and it's gotten on any of the hoses, pipes, anywhere around here. Just be mindful that this thing could have a hose leak somewhere, and that's something you have to replace. Yeah, so as far as the engine bay, do not let the looks fool you. Do not let a sparkling clean dark engine bay make you think, oh wow, this was really maintained well. No, people can clean an engine bay. So also a tip is to start the vehicle and let it run for a little bit. After you test drive it, open the hood again, look for oil residue, look under the car, see if anything is leaking. Because again, stuff can be easily hidden on the surface until it starts running. Then you'll start to see more stuff pop up. So that's it for the engine bay. Now we're gonna go around the car. Alright, so cosmetically speaking, you're getting a 15 to 20-year-old car. So don't expect this car to be in perfect shape. Like, that's just unrealistic. The main thing I'm looking for when looking around the car is in the seals. You want to look all around here, because these areas get neglected and sometimes you forget about them because you just overlook them. But if you see rust, you want to look for rust in these areas because they tend to pop up sometimes in the panels and in some of these areas that you just don't commonly look at. My car does not have any rust, luckily, so I know I'm good. But all of the door panels, you want to check every single door panel, all along there, bottom, all around, and just look in all these areas that are going to be hidden when the door is closed. If you can, tell the owner to not start the car. You want to hear it on a cold start. That took a long time because my battery is going out and it needs to be replaced. So you don't want to hear a long delay. As far as lights, there's my key fob battery. Go in the BC setting, flip up and down, service info, BC. You can look through the codes, what these mean if you have an OBD. You just want to listen to the engine, honestly. While the car is running, obviously test the heat and AC. Turn it all the way up. You know, just mess with it, right? It should all be going smoothly, and you should not smell gas coming out of the vents. Not gas, oil. If you smell oil coming out of the vents, again, you got a leak in the engine somewhere. And my car, again, has a valve cover gasket leak, so I smell way too much oil in this car and probably won't sell, but that's another story. AC, you know, run through the AC, turn that all the way up. My rear passenger butt warmer goes out, so sometimes these don't stay good. That's something to be mindful of. It's so cold out here. Okay, another important thing to look out for is checking all the windows. You want to run through all of these, especially the rears. The rear right has always gone out for me, and some people just forget to check all the windows, but the rear right window tends to get stuck a lot. The window motor breaks, so check all the windows. Go all the way down, all the way up. Oil, oil, oil. Just check for oil. Your engine bay underneath the car leaking. When you're driving, just check for oil, because that's really all you need to know if you're fixing some oil stuff. And I cannot stress enough, maintenance records. Just ask for the maintenance records. If they don't got it, chances are they didn't do it. So you want to get someone who has a file of maintenance records, and or Carfax, whatever it is. Alright, this is the key information. I'm going to try to make this short and simple, but it's very important. I've owned about 4 E90s, so I have my experience. I understand these cars in and out. And each car I bought was between 80 to 100,000 miles. So I know what needs to be done around that range. And if it's not on the maintenance records, I know I'm going to have to do it because it's coming up. So these are the 5 key things. I look for the water pump. Just know, again, a lot of these from 100 to 115 to 120, they're on their way out, or they need to be taken care of. Just do it. Don't let it delay. So, the water pump, yes, take care of that. It will leave you stranded on the side of the road if it's not. Valve cover, gasket, I can't say that any more in this video. I feel like I said it probably 50 times. Oil pan gasket. You want to take a look under the car if you can, because chances are there's an oil pan leak underneath that you just don't see. Battery. The battery's going to need to be swapped if it hasn't been taken care of, because we're in 2025 and this is nearly a 20-year-old car. So take care of the battery because it will go out on you. And lastly, this is like, if you see this has been taken care of, you're in good hands. A transmission service. I don't expect that, but when I see that, it's like, okay, like this, yeah, this car was taken care of. So I look for 4 out of those 5 things being taken care of if I really care about the car and I want to get a car. If 2 out of the 5 have been done, then it's like, just know you're gonna put the money into the other things. So, you know, you're doing that to yourself. And also, you're either getting this on Facebook Marketplace or a used car dealership. And let me tell you, they are shady. So if you see it from, I don't know, anywhere from like 5 to 7 or even lower, just be mindful. There's probably some leaks. Like they look at everything. They know what's going on with the car. And I've had way too many bad experiences. I've bought a car when it slightly got dark out and I didn't get to look underneath the car. Everything else was great, perfect, and I had to learn the hard way, man. I got the car. Next day, I took it to my mechanic, put it up on the lift. Underneath, all rusted out. Like, you don't see everything, so you got to look everywhere. Under the car, in the engine bay, just look for rust, all that, man. They will hide stuff. They'll wipe it down, make it look clean. Just, you got to inspect it. So, that's really all my advice. Oh, also, spark plugs. Coils and spark plugs, not the biggest deal because they're easy to replace, but look for those because they might need to be replaced soon, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. Sorry, I just had a bulk bowl, but you can just be mindful of that too. That'll probably be need to replace soon. So yeah, let me know if this helped, and if you're getting E90, man, good luck. It's a great car, it's reliable. Just get that stuff out the way and you're having a good time more than likely. So good luck to you, and amen.